Hello everyone. We had started in previous lecture crystal field theory and we will continue it today. So our next topic is big and strong ligand field splitting. The splitting of 5d generate d orbital of the free metal ion under the influence of approaching ligand in two or more groups having different energies is called crystal field splitting. We have already learned that the degenerate orbital of the degenerate d orbital of metal are splitted into two or more groups, and this splitting is called as crystal field splitting. It is denoted by 10 dq, 1 dq for each d electron. We know there are 5 d orbital and each orbital can have 2 electrons into it. So for each electron, each d electron 1 dq, that is 5d orbital, 5 into 2, 10 electrons, therefore 10 dq. Hence the splitting is denoted by 10 dq or delta O for octahedral and delta T for tetrahedral. Electron occupancy in CFT or distribution of electrons in splitted d orbital in the complexes. The electrons prefer to occupy the lower energy orbital while filling the orbital, splitted d orbital. We have seen two levels T2G and EG. To fill these two levels, two set of orbitals, the electron first prefer lower energy orbitals. Filling of electrons obey Aufbau principle, Hund's rule and Pauli's exclusion principle. Let's have a look on this principle first. What does Aufbau principle say? An electron occupies the lowest energy orbital that can receive it. Fill electron lowest to highest energy. That is, first orbital having lower energy will be filled and then the orbital having higher energy will be filled. This diagram gives us an idea that how the orbitals are filled, in which order. 1s, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, then 4s, in this way. This also gives us the energy of orbital. This is having the lower energy. This is the lower energy orbital, lowest energy orbital, and this is the highest energy orbital. What is Hund's rule? According to Hund's rule, the orbitals of the same energy must be occupied by one electron before it can be occupied by two electrons. All the orbitals should be first singly occupied and then it should get doubly occupied. Let us consider d orbital. There are 5d orbitals. So first all the 5d orbitals should be singly occupied. That is, there should be one electron in each orbital first and then it can be paired. That is, then the next electron can cause pairing. Pauli exclusion principle. Each orbital can only hold two electrons with opposite spin. Each orbital can have only two electrons. No more than two electrons can occupy one orbital, and both these electrons should have opposite spin. Electron with same spin cannot occupy same orbital. Both the electrons should have opposite spin, that is minus half and plus half. So coming back to our point, if pairing of electrons takes place, the energy of the system will be raised by P, the pairing energy of the system. Whenever pairing of electron takes place in the system, the energy of the system will be raised by P. Since energy is required to cause pairing, therefore the whole system will suffer from raise of energy by P, mentioned by P, the pairing energy of the system. If delta is greater than P, where P is the pairing energy, electrons prefer to get paired in lower T2G orbitals. Whenever the delta, that is the splitting between two sets of orbital, that is T2G and EG, delta is the splitting energy between the two sets, that is T2G and EG. Whenever delta is greater than P, that is if delta is greater than P, then electrons prefer to get paired. Whenever the energy required to jump from lower T2G level to higher EG level, the electron will prefer to get paired into T2G. This doesn't obey Hund's rule, and this happens in case of strong field ligand. This will happen whenever the strong field ligand will approach the metal ion. If delta is lesser than P, electrons will occupy EG orbital after filling T2G orbital singly. This happens in case of weak field ligand. Whenever the splitting between the two levels is lesser, when the splitting between two levels is lesser, the pairing energy is higher, the electrons will occupy the EG orbital first. That is, without getting paired in the lower energy level, lower energy T2G level, they will first go to the EG level. That is, all orbitals will get first singly occupied and then doubly occupied. That is obeying Hund's rule. This happens in case of weak field ligands. Whenever weak field ligand approach the metal ion, the electron will go to EG orbital first and then the pairing will occur. Pairing energy. P is the energy required to pair two electrons against electron-electron repulsion in the same orbital. We know that there is repulsion between the same charges. Hence, all the electrons are negatively charged. There will be repulsion between negative and negative. To get the electron paired in the same orbital, we need energy, and this energy is called pairing energy, denoted by P. P is pairing energy for one electron pair and is expressed in per centimeter. P is the energy required to form one pair of electron, and is expressed in per centimeter. Per centimeter is the unit for pairing. If X is the number of electron pairs, then if X is the number of electron pair, that is the number of pair of electrons present is X, total pairing energy will be equal to xp per centimeter. X multiplied by P per centimeter. For a given metal ion, P is constant. P is a constant for any given metal, and the pairing energy always have positive sign. Weak field and strong field ligands. Ligand which cause only small crystal field splitting and have lower value of 10 dq are called weak field ligand. Whenever the splitting between the T2G and the EG level is smaller, that is the gap between these two is smaller, it will be having the lower value of 10 dq, and these ligands are called as weak field ligands. These are two examples. F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, H2O, etc. are weak field ligands. While the ligands which cause greater crystal field splitting and have large value of 10 dq are called strong field ligand. And whenever the splitting between T2G and EG is greater, the value of 10 dq will be larger, and hence the ligands are called as strong field ligands. The examples of strong field ligands are carbonyl, cyanide, ammonia and nitro group, etc. are the strong field ligands. Weak and always keep in mind these examples. It is very important. You should learn these examples. Molecule, that which one is the weak field ligand and which is the strong field ligand. It will be very important for you. Uh, strong, weak and strong field complexes. Complexes which involve only smaller degree of crystal field splitting are called as weak field complexes. For these complexes, 10dq is less than pairing energy. Whenever the crystal field splitting is smaller, the complex is called as weak field complex. And in these weak field complexes, the 10dq, that is splitting value, is lower, smaller than the pairing energy, due to which these complexes are formed by weak field ligand, and these complexes are always formed by the weak field ligand. We have seen which are the weak field ligand: F, Cl, Br, I, H2O, etc. Such complexes contain more number of unpaired electrons. Since the splitting, that is the gap between the two levels, is less, the electron prefer to jump to the Eg level and not to get paired in the T2G state, due to which more number of unpaired electrons are present and therefore called as high spin or spin free complexes. Here example is given: COF6 3 minus. The complexes which involve larger degree of crystal field splitting, that is 10dq, are called as strong field complexes. Whenever the splitting between the T2G and EG is larger, that is the gap between these two is larger, there will be no scope for an electron to jump from lower energy level to such a high energy level. Therefore, the electron will prefer to get pair in this lower energy, that is T2G. We are studying here for the octahedral complexes. Okay. So for these complexes, the 10dq is greater than pairing energy. These strong field complexes are formed by the strong field ligands CO, Cn, NH3, NO2, etc. Such complexes contain less number of unpaired electrons. Since the electron is preferring to get paired into the lower energy state, the number of unpaired electrons found in these complexes will be very less, and therefore called as low spin or spin paired complexes. For example, CONH36 3+, high spin and low spin complexes. The complex in which delta is small and has maximum number of unpaired electrons. Whenever the delta, that is the gap between these two levels, is small and the number of unpaired electron is maximum, since the electron prefer to jump from this lower energy level to this level, the number of electron will be unpaired will be more, and since it is having more number of unpaired electron, the complex is called as high spin complex or a spin free complex. That is, most of the electrons are unpaired, due to which the spin will be very high, hence it is called as high spin complex. For such complexes, delta is lesser than P. Here the pairing energy will be higher, due to which the electron prefer to jump from lower energy to the higher energy, due to lesser splitting energy. Such complexes are generally formed by weak field ligands and are generally less stable. These complexes are generally formed by the weak field ligands and are generally less stable. So overall, let's come to a point that whenever there is a weak field ligand present in any complex, there will be splitting energy will be lesser than the pairing energy, due to which number of unpaired electrons will be higher in these complexes, and these complexes are called as high spin or spin free complexes, and it can also be called as weak field complexes. The complex in which delta is large and has minimum number of unpaired electrons or no unpaired electron is called as low spin or spin paired complexes. For the complexes having strong field ligand, that is whenever the ligand is a strong field ligand in a complex, the splitting between these two levels will be higher. This gap will be higher, due to which the electron prefer to get paired into the lower energy state. Lower energy state, due to which the electron, there will be less number of unpaired electrons present and the electron will get paired. Due to pairing of electron, the complex is called low spin or spin paired complexes. Here the example is CONH363+. The D6 configuration in weak and strong octahedral ligand field gives high spin and low spin complex. Here the configuration is same, but the ligand field is changed, that is weak and strong octahedral ligand field. Hence the complexes form will be also different. In weak field with weak field ligand, D6 will give high spin complex. We have just seen that weak field ligand gives high spin complexes, and with strong ligand field, D6 will give low spin complex. Spectrochemical series. Till now we were studying that few ligands are strong field while few ligands are weak field. On what basis we decide this? Here the spectrochemical series explain the properties of this ligand. The magnitude of crystal field splitting 10 dq or delta depends on the nature of ligands. Different ligands have different abilities to cause crystal field splitting. The value of crystal field splitting depends on the nature of ligands. Whether the ligand is weak field or strong field, the splitting will depend on. If the ligand is weak field, the gap between these two will be smaller, while when the ligand is strong field, the gap between these two levels will be greater. This is T2G and this is EG. When the ligands are arranged according to their ability to cause crystal field splitting, they form a series known as spectrochemical series. These ligands are arranged according to their ability to cause splitting of d orbital. These are the weak field ligands, this is neutral, and these are the strong field ligands. And this series is called as the spectrochemical series. It is called so because the field strength of the ligands are obtained from the spectra of complexes. This order is obtained by studying the spectra of complexes. What is a spectra of complex? It is a kind of graph obtained by studying the transition of electron from one d level to the another d level. DD transition, right? We have seen in our previous lecture DD transition. By studying this DD transition, a graph is obtained which is called a spectra of complexes. The spectra of complexes is different for different ligands according to their ability to cause the splitting. Hence, this spectrochemical series is obtained. Please learn this series, it is very important. Ligands which cause only small degree of crystal field splitting are called weak field ligands. Uh, Ligand causing the lesser splitting of orbital are called weak field ligand, while which cause larger crystal field splitting are called strong field ligands. These are the strong field ligand and causes very large splitting of orbitals. Thus, uh, okay, while halide ions are weak field. Characteristics of spectrochemical series. It is called so because the field strength of ligands are obtained from spectra of complexes with various metal ions. Why is it called spectrochemical series? Because it is obtained from the spectra of complexes. We just learned that what is spectra of a complex with various metal. With different metal, the spectra is obtained, and from studying that, we get the spectrochemical series. It is experimentally determined series and incorporates all the factors that like the d orbital splitting, pi bonding, pi bond formation, etc. and does not depend on CFSE only. This series is obtained by experimenting with various factors. Like it does not only considers this crystal field stabilization energy, but it also considers the d orbital splitting and pi bond formation. By studying all of this, the spectrochemical series is obtained. It is difficult to explain the order because it contains both the effects of sigma and pi bonding. We just seen this series. There is no specific explanation for the order of this series because few are having the sigma bond effect and few are having the pi bond effect, due to which we can't say that it is having these are electronegative due to which they are weak field, or these are electropositive due to which they are strong field. There is no logic behind this series. No such logic can be applied. The halides are weak field ligands. The halides are in the order expected from electrostatic effects. The order of other ligands can be explained on the basis of covalent bonding. The pattern is due to increasing sigma donation. Moving from halide to the carbon, that is, halides are more electronegative and carbon is electropositive comparatively. The sigma bonding increases, that is, sigma donation increases. Hence, the order is also increasing, that is, carbon ligands are strong field ligand, nitrogen, then oxygen, and then halide. The 10 dq for Cn minus is about twice than that for weak field halide ions. The splitting caused by cyanide ion, that is cyanide ligand, is about twice double the splitting caused by the weak field halide ion. The splitting caused by the halide ion. This is due to metal ligand pi bonding. The cyanide ion shows metal to ligand pi bond formation, in which the metal donates its electron from its filled T2G orbital to vacant ligand orbital. Cyanide ion shows cyanide ligand. Cyanide ligand shows the pi back bonding, that is the donation of electron from metal T2G orbital to the vacant ligand orbital. So this is it. Here we have completed our crystal field theory, and we will continue with crystal field theory in our next chapter. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.